All right, welcome to another Be the Exception podcast. We are here with Bre Wallin. Bre, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
This is take two, unfortunately. Our other one, you can only hear the fan blowing on the camera in, so the mic got messed up.
So sad.
But this is the second take I've done with somebody, so the other one went well. So we should have a good time. So,
Good.
But yeah, thanks for asking to come on. Apologies for not asking sooner.
I didn't ask. I said, hey, you haven't asked me. Do you think I'm boring?
Yeah, which is not the case. We're actually just going to kind of chat about your athletic career here, and talk about just everything that you've done in CrossFit, because you've had quite an extensive career in CrossFit. So
Are you calling me old?
Well, I think I'm older than you, aren't I? Yeah, I am.
I don't know. Are you a master's athlete yet?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
But this would technically be my second season in masters.
Just a little bit. Just a little older.
But I've been calling myself old since 28, so I don't know if I'm the best judge.
So am I.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Bre, let's just get into it, I guess. Tell us kind of your athletic background. You started out with cheer, right?
So when I was really young, I started off with gymnastics.
Okay.
And then my parents put me in cheerleading, and we realized just tumbling would supplement that. So I backed off some of the gymnastics, just took tumbling classes, was a cheerleader, cheered all the way through college at Georgia State, and then found CrossFit.
Yeah. So were you doing competitive cheer or?
So growing up, I just did sideline cheer. So none of the really cool, fancy stuff. I didn't get to travel or anything. But then in college, I did competitive cheer.
Okay. And that's the ones that you see on ESPN and stuff like that,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
Because you were telling me there's two different leagues, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So in college, there's one called UCA and one called NCA, and they're fairly similar. There are subtle differences, but just my specific school went to the NCA.
Okay. And that's an outdoor one, and the other one is indoor?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And the outdoor one's on the beach?
Yes, which is awesome.
Yeah. And where's the indoor one?
I should know this.
Disney,
they have maybe? Disney?
Oh, so
Orlando?
they're both in Florida then?
I think so.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I bet. Because it's one big competition at the end of the year for cheer, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep.
And so they both host them at different times or at this
different times.
Okay.
So UCA is in January, I believe.
Okay.
Going back quite a few years, so I'm I think it's January.
Yeah.
And then Daytona, which is NCA, is outdoors in April, early April.
Oh, okay. So not much difference. You couldn't really compete in both of them? Or
no, and I don't think people did. And that could just be because of school funding.
Oh,
right? There's
that makes sense.
not a big investment in cheer.
Yeah,
so.
That's fair. That's fair. But they're pretty big sports, right? Mm-hmm. The actual competitions are massive, right?
Yeah. I mean, tons of divisions, tons of teams. Definitely a really good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what, were you a flipper? Did they throw you or toss you, or what does competitive cheer look like for you for that division?
Yeah. So growing up, I was what's called a flyer. So I'm only 5 feet tall. So definitely was a flyer. But then as soon as my coaches and teams realized I was fairly strong, they put me right back on the ground.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've always had a pretty athletic build, I would say. And then in college, you can actually go 2 levels high, which means 3 people high, I guess.
Okay.
I would say.
Yeah.
So in college, they put me in the middle. So it was
Okay.
I got tossed, and then the people at the bottom would throw somebody else up, and I would catch that person in the middle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Dang.
Yeah.
So what was that? You could catch that person on your shoulders?
I would hold them on my forearm, usually.
Okay.
Yeah, or on my shoulders.
So they'd be standing on your forearm?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
with another person, sitting across from me like you are, but obviously closer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So what was the worst? What was the worst spill you took?
I actually was pretty fortunate. There were definitely some tumbles, but I was always caught, luckily.
Okay,
But I've
yeah.
definitely seen some bad spills. I would say probably the worst I have ever had is I was throwing somebody else.
Yeah.
And I remember I had a first date right after practice, and a girl kicked me in the face and gave me like a bloody lip.
So you were like
And
freaking out.
And I'm like 16 at the time. I mean, I'm in high school. I still went on the date.
Did you?
The fair was in town. I was like, sorry, I have this huge bloody, like swollen lip. Like in hindsight, I'm like, why did I go?
That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the worst. That was kind of the worst.
That was the worst.
Like bad timing. Too.
Yes, terrible.
What's like the worst you've seen?
I mean, I've definitely seen girls just like hit the mat from, however many feet in the air and get like the wind knocked out of them.
Yeah.
And, definitely some like suspected concussions and stuff. But nothing, I mean, knock on wood, nothing too terrible that I remember.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's good. That's fortunate.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Okay, so then you were doing cheer. And you got into CrossFit while you were doing cheer, right?
Yep.
Okay. Can you talk through like how that happened?
Yeah. So actually, I had a roommate, and we were looking for jobs, and we found a job at this gym that was nearby. It was like a Globo type of gym. And so she worked at the front desk, and then I started and I worked in the daycare.
Okay.
And a lot of the parents would come back, and I mean, they look so fit. And I was like, what do you guys do here? And there was a CrossFit affiliate actually inside of this Globo gym, which is, I know, fairly unique. And
it was definitely unique for that time, but I think it's starting to become like more of a trend now. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So it's like reverting back almost.
That's awesome. I think it's smart.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, like you guys are the weirdos that are like flipping the tires outside and running through this. Like, if you think about a Globo gym, just the culture is so much different than like your typical CrossFit affiliate. So I just thought they were really weird at first.
Yeah.
And then one of the coaches was actually Victor, who owns Victory Grips.
Yep.
I was wearing like a Georgia State cheerleading t-shirt, and he said, hey, I have a cheerleading background too. I think you should give it a try. I think you'd really like it. Mm-hmm. And so that's how I got started for the first time.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So he just kind of he saw you were wearing a cheer shirt, and then he roped you in and said, come try it.
Yep.
And what was the first workout you guys did?
So the first time I tried CrossFit, he put me through a fairly simple workout.
Okay.
It was just like running and single unders. Obviously, I couldn't do double unders yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I did it with another girl that I cheered with, and it was just the two of us. And so while it was a really good workout, I didn't really get as good of a feel for the culture. So I was like, oh, that was fun, but I don't know. I didn't really like bite at that first try.
Yeah.
So I actually stopped after that
so
first
just
time for a year.
One workout and done.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh,
Yep.
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Did the other girl keep going? Or?
No.
You guys are just like, nah,
We
whatever.
were kind of like, it's kind of expensive. We're in college. We can't really afford it. But
yeah. So how did you end up like fully getting into it then?
Yeah. So the next summer, actually, I remember it was like Cinco de Mayo weekend. I was in Charleston, and I was with some friends, and I saw some people doing CrossFit on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember the name of the affiliate, but they were doing like burpees and running and air squats, and they had like the music blaring, and just like that view of the real culture was really enticing. And then I remember just hearing about the games that were coming up. And so I was like, I'm about to graduate after this year. I'm going to need something to do.
Yeah.
And decided to give it another try.
Okay. You don't remember the name of the gym? It was in Charleston?
It was. I wish I did.
Man, I know we have a couple connections out there, so maybe somebody's listening to this and they can let us know. Because like,
I hope so.
The community is small enough, and somebody in there is somebody from that gym or class is probably still doing CrossFit to this day. So it'd be fun to like figure out what that gym was.
Definitely.
Okay, so that was it. So you saw it on the beach, and you were like, okay, I'm going back. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to get in better shape. I wanted to make sure I had a hobby.
Yeah.
Graduating and leaving college and not having, anything to look forward to,
Right.
Having that outlet. And so as soon as we got back, I was like, okay, I'm going to come back and give it a try.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So you went back to Victor then?
I did. Yep.
Yeah. Was he like, I knew you'd be back?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. They always come back.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So what was your next workout then? Did you guys just go right into classes or?
We really did, honestly. I didn't really do much of an on-ramp.
Okay.
Which is kind of funny, but that first workout back was CrossFit Total.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Uh-huh.
That's a crazy one to come back to. Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember your numbers?
I think that my back squat was something like 155.
Okay.
And then my deadlift was maybe 200.
Okay.
And what's the other lift? I'm blanking.
Press.
Strict press. Maybe
Yeah.
that was maybe like 95.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas was everyone like, what in the world? Like this girl can lift so much.
I think so. But honestly, a lot of the members knew me from working in the daycare. And so, like you said with Victor, they were like, we knew you'd be back and we knew you'd be really good, you know, because we lifted a little bit.
A cult.
Yeah, it really is. And I'm actually still friends with a lot of those members today.
Yeah.
But they're like, yeah, we had a feeling.
We had a feeling. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
funny. Okay, so CrossFit Total, then were you just kind of like jumping around classes for a while, or was there like a competitors programming at your gym at all? Or?
Yeah, so actually, the way the Globo Gym was set up, there were a few racquetball courts. And
Okay.
so the full affiliate was like in this one racquetball court. So, I mean, in hindsight, I'm like,
Did they have like a rig in there and everything?
like a little tiny, like I wish we could show a picture. It was the tiniest little cute
Really?
rig in a corner, and like there's not that much space, maybe,
Yeah.
10 people in class or whatever. But then across the hall, there was another empty space
Okay.
where there was like a group of competitors.
Okay.
And I remember after maybe 2 or 3 days, I was like, this is really fun, but when do I get to work out with them? I just immediately knew I wanted to compete too.
Yeah, yeah. So what time frame was this again? 20.
This was probably
2012?
late summer 2012.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was right before the games went on ESPN,
Mm-hmm.
right? Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So you kind of knew about the games, but you didn't know like, but you maybe hadn't seen them like fully yet, or.
Right. I don't think I had actually seen the full games yet. I had heard rumblings about it coming up and people traveling to go watch. And so I had started, and then the games came on, and I remember watching, like, maybe it was the finale that year, and,
Yeah.
seeing them do the kipping pull-ups and,
Yeah.
the pretty barbells with the, like, colored plates and all
Yes.
the, I don't know,
Yeah.
they just made it look so easy. And I was
'Cause
like,
that-
oh, I can definitely do that.
Yeah. Because that was the girls, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I actually went back and watched that the other
Really?
month, and it was so much fun. Like, it was chaos. They didn't have any lanes or anything
That's
back then.
crazy.
They just like lined everybody up. Barbells were like bouncing all over the place. Like,
Right.
They did it in the entire tennis stadium too. So you had
Mm-hmm.
like one workout. You had Fran here, then you had, I think it was Elizabeth, and then you had
I think so.
or
Isabel?
no, Isabel, then Elizabeth.
Okay, yeah.
And you just like moved down the court.
Right.
But yeah, that was the Wild West times were just so much fun.
It was so fun.
It was so fun. It was so fun. So is that kind of what spurred like you like, okay, when am I going to be able to go over there? Because I want to go do that.
Yeah. I mean, I was like, oh, yeah, like I'm going to be there next year, I think
Yeah.
so many people fall in that trap of like, oh, I'm going to be at the games in no time. And
Well, like, but you also like heard stories of that happening too, though. So you're like, that's going to be me.
yeah,
You're like, maybe.
yeah, for sure.
Okay, so you started getting into doing the competitive thing. And how did like that? So that was 2013 Open. You were like working out with the competitor people. Yeah.
Yeah. So I graduated and got to work out with the competitors
Yeah.
and felt super cool.
Yeah.
They took me under their wing for
Sweet.
sure. And so I did the 2013 Open. That was my first Open.
Okay.
Back then, I want to say maybe it was top 60 in a region.
Yeah,
Made it to
it was,
regionals.
yep.
I was actually kind of close.
Okay.
I had some big holes at my pull-ups. Like I was terrible at pull-ups.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but we were putting a team together anyway, so it
Yeah,
really didn't
so-
matter. But it was kind of fun to see that,
Right.
maybe what I could work on and get closer. But
Yep.
so we put together a team. It was teams of 6
Okay.
back then, and we
Yep.
went to regionals out of CrossFit Identity.
Okay. Yep. How did regionals go? Because that year was they basically like made you guys do the individual workouts, and you just picked like which pair
Yeah.
was going to do the individual workouts. Like it was such a different ball game back then.
Yeah, it really was. We did okay. We finished about 10th place. And I say we did okay because, like you said, there were the partners, the pairs. So the first day we had a pair do Jackie and they crushed it. I mean, they did so well. But when it came to my pair, I was set up to do the deadlift box jump workout.
Yes.
The guys went first, and unfortunately my partner like blew up a little bit, so I actually didn't even make it out on the floor.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That was a heavy weight back then.
Yeah,
315?
I think for team it was actually like 275, 185.
Oh.
But I think just we honestly had grabbed this guy like out of the Globo gym.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Wow.
You could do that back then.
That's right. Yeah.
So bless his heart. Great competitor, great guy, but I didn't get a turn.
Dang. And
Yeah.
that was like your workout too.
Yeah.
You were about
Yeah.
ready to send
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
For sure.
Dang.
Yeah.
So day one, no competing at all.
Right.
Then I think, did you compete on day two? Or?
So actually the deadlift box jump was later in the weekend, but
Oh,
that was
okay.
the partner workout I was set up to do. I also remember, I think day one was the burpee muscle ups and overhead squat. So I think it was like a 3 rep max overhead squat into 30
Oh, the burpee
burpee
ring
muscle ups.
muscle-ups,
But
yeah.
team, I think, was just the 30 split amongst us. I think that was the number. But
Yeah.
I remember like I would think I was supposed to go first. And I looked at my friend Allison. I was like, I'm so tired from the overhead squat. Can you go first? You know, it's like,
Yeah,
it was so
back in the day.
grassroots back
Yeah.
then. It was like, I didn't know if I could do one burpee ring
Yeah.
muscle up. But it was a really fun year.
Yeah, team's so much fun. Especially, honestly, like teams of 6 too was a blast. You had like, I don't know, there was something different about teams of 6, like just so much more that you could do. And
Yeah.
like, I think just throwing in the extra dynamic of like 2 extra people on the team was a lot of fun. But,
Yeah.
so 2013 came and went. Were you like, all right, next year's going to be individual, or were you going to want to go team again?
I honestly just really loved the people that I was with. And so I think I was starting to get the itch for individual, but
Okay.
I did do team again in 2014. I
Okay.
did qualify for regionals individually. And I think that year they reduced it. It changes every year.
I know.
Reduced it from 60 to I believe it was 48.
48, yeah.
That year. So I did qualify, which was really exciting. I was like very intrigued to see that. And I was like, okay, maybe one day.
Yeah.
But I did do team again in 2014.
Okay.
And so another year where I think we were somewhere middle of the pack.
Okay.
Specifically remember one of the workouts being like a 1 rep max hang snatch. I think I opened at like 105 or 115, and just seeing the strength numbers back then compared
Yeah.
to now.
I'm trying to think. I think Kelly, you know who Kelly Wild is?
I've heard the name, yeah.
Yeah, so she was on my team that year, and I think she opened at 115 also. And
No way.
Has since gone on to like win weightlifting.
Yeah.
Like competition. Like I think she might have won Pan Am's one year.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So like that's how like grassroots CrossFit was back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
So yeah, opened at 115. That was just a great. Did you crush the handstand walk that year? 120 feet straight, and like, I think there was like 5 people in the whole like each region that would like finish that.
I know. I wouldn't say I crushed it. People always look at me and they assume that like I'll crush the handstand events, and honestly, I feel like I quit gymnastics a little bit too early. So actually, like I taught myself how to handstand walk
Okay.
in cheerleading. It's not something I formally learned how to do.
Yeah.
But I think I did well for back then.
Yeah.
I can't remember how far I made it, but my teammate Allison was a gymnast.
Oh, okay.
And so she like blew everybody
Out of
away.
the water. Yeah. We had a girl. Do you know what stag is? Like the one knee
Yeah.
bent and then one leg kicked out. So she did stag, and then did it backwards.
Oh my gosh.
And everyone was like watching her, like, what the
Yeah.
fuck is going on right now?
That's incredible.
Yeah. It's just a wild. Obviously, they like, outlawed walking backwards on your hands. So like,
Dang
just
it.
some of the stuff that just happened back then was so crazy. So you guys finished middle of the pack that year, then? Okay. And then since you had qualified the year before, we were like, all right, this is the year for individual.
I think so. I think I was ready. And so I did switched gyms in 2014, longer story, but I ended up going back to CrossFit Identity in the 2015 season. And I knew I was ready to get a little bit more serious with like my programming. Emily Bridgers was like huge in the Atlanta scene, really the CrossFit scene all over. And they had a really popular training program back then called Squat Mafia. And so I was like, all right, it's time. I signed up for that, and I'll really make a push for individual for the 2015 season.
Okay. And so did you get to train with Emily then doing that? Or?
Her gym was actually really close to where I lived, but I honestly, because of my work schedule, I trained like super early morning and then late after work.
Okay.
It didn't make sense for me to go there. Gotcha. So I just did the programming from Identity.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Hit on the schedule that you held for like, what was it, up until like 2018 almost?
Yeah. So I had some great training partners, but we would get up and train, and we'd get there about 5:30 in the morning, train for 2 hours. I'd drive home. Like there was no work from home back then.
Right.
You know, race home. I'm like still like pouring sweat. Change and get in my business casual clothes, drive to the office, work until about 4:30 or 5, and then go back to the gym for another 2 hours.
Yeah.
So like 5:30 to 7:30 a.m. and p.m. for, I mean, probably 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. Yeah. It was crazy back then.
Yeah.
Like, if you had a full-time job, like it was nuts. Like you would come in and you would do something in the morning, early as fuck.
Yep.
Go and work all day. Like how you were working, I don't know. Like how are you functioning? Dude?
I was young.
Yeah, right. And then come back to the gym and do like another 2 hours worth of training afterwards, and then just go back home and try and get your shit done for the day.
Yeah.
It was so nuts. Like you lived, breathed, and slept CrossFit back then. It was fun.
It was super fun. I mean, just some of the best times of my life, for sure.
For sure. Yeah. I think the camaraderie was so much greater back then because you had just like a shared suffering of like we're all waking up at 5:30 in the morning doing the same thing, all of us are going to work, and then we're coming back and hanging out with our friends again for another 2 hours. Like, and everybody was like on the same page back then too. I think there's a lot of individuals that are just looking for open gym sections now in gyms to kind of like, I have this program, I'm loyal to this program, I have this program, I'm loyal to this program, and like, I don't know. That's something that we're trying to like cultivate with our Saturday classes, bringing some of that old school stuff back, because there's just something so special about that. So
yeah, I completely agree. I think also back then there were more opportunities. So with regionals, I mean, I think everybody kind of thought they had a shot.
Yeah.
You know, whether that was realistic or not. And so that helped motivate people too. But doing it
that makes sense.
Together, suffering together, I still will sometimes, you know, randomly go off program because I know how important and how fun it is to suffer together.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And I think back in the day too with like it was teams of 6. So you had to have more people in the same spot. And then you all had to be training out of the gym pretty much all year. There wasn't like any super teams or anything like that. It was just like you're in the gym with these people all year to go and compete, you know, one time at regionals at the end of the year. But I think that also allowed for more opportunity for people to compete too. Yeah. So that makes sense. Okay, sorry, jumping back into the story here. Tangents. Yeah. So 2015, you went individual. How'd that end up going?
Good. So I getting on structured programming for the first time, kicked my butt. I remember the very first week I started this new programming, Thursday morning, which was my rest day, the one day I got to sleep in. I remember oversleeping for work by like an hour. Wow. And that's not like me. I think I've maybe done that once ever, which was that day.
That time,
and my body was wrecked.
Yeah.
It was like, oh no. I woke up in like sheer panic. But that season went really well. I did qualify for regionals.
Okay.
I can't remember where I placed in the open, maybe top 10, top 15. So top 20, they changed it yet again that season. That's the one constant is that every year it changes. And this was the first year of super regionals. So there was a mid-Atlantic region and then the Southeast region. They combined them for 40 people at regionals. And so that was really my first year of any individual experience. I did Wadapalooza that year. It's the only year I've ever qualified elite. I think I finished dead last.
At
not
Wadapalooza?
not exaggerating.
Oh, no.
I mean, either
Oh,
last
no.
or second to last.
Yeah.
But I mean, I
To
had
make elite,
no.
though, back then
Yeah.
in Wadapalooza, and even still, that's one of the most challenging things to
Mm-hmm.
do. Yeah.
I remember there was a workout with a 70-pound dumbbell snatch. I think it was actually a split snatch.
Oh, wow.
It's like,
Okay.
oh my God.
Like,
There
what
was
is
also that hang clean workout. They've repeated this a ton where it was like, I think it was 3, 2, 1, starting at maybe 180, 190, 200.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of the first glance at a speed ladder
Oh,
with strength.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I remember like each hang clean was like a 1 rep max
Yeah,
back then. And
yeah.
I had no business being out there. But that was like my first taste. I was like, okay, well, that's not great, but you know, hopefully regionals will go better.
Uh-huh.
And I just remember being happy to be there, but definitely being intimidated seeing some of the girls I had looked up to for so long. Like my first workout, I was in the same heat as Sam Briggs and
Yeah.
just went into pure panic mode and threw my game plan out the window. And
that was
ended
Randy.
It was Randy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what were you planning on doing?
I don't remember the exact rep scheme, but I know my training time. I had texted back and forth with Emily, and my training time actually ended up being faster than hers. And
Wow.
so I was like, oh, wow. I mean, she's like my hero. How did that happen? That can't
Yeah.
be real. So I was feeling maybe a little too confident and just didn't have a good game plan and just got caught up. And I was like, I'm just going to go hard, you know? And
Yeah.
I blew up, and I think it was like a minute slower, which is
Wow.
pretty bad for a
Yeah.
workout that short.
For sure. For
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, not only that, but like that was when it was starting to get to the point where like you couldn't really, if you made major mistakes like that inside of a weekend, like it was pretty drastic. Like it was tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah. So it was like kind of like an eye-opening experience to be like, whoa, like I've been watching these girls on social media and now I'm next to them competing. Like, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And then just not really understanding the sport quite yet. You know,
Okay.
I didn't have great game plans, and just I hadn't fully experienced the intensity and the focus and all the dedication that was really needed to compete at that level. So it was definitely a learning year. The last day ended up being my best day. That's when they had the most gymnastics, honestly. But
Yeah.
I think that last day left me with a little bit of hope just
Yeah.
for the next year and the future.
Yeah. Because you ended up like crushing the last day, right?
I think I won my heat. I was in the bottom heat, but I think I won my heat on both workouts. So
Okay.
I still ended up near the bottom of the pack.
Yeah.
But I left a lot more hopeful than the first couple of days.
Yeah. And so it was like just a lot of lessons learned that year. Yeah. And I think that's kind of like how everybody was coming into the sport at that time too. It was like you compete team and like it's fun. There's a lot of excitement around it. And then you go to the individual route and you're like, I got on structured programming. I learned what structured programming was like. And oh, wow, there's a whole new level to competing individual that you have to like kind of dial in and focus and dedicate yourself to.
Yeah.
And then, so did that kind of set you up well for 2016 then, or?
Yeah, I think so. I definitely day 1 and day 2 was really down on myself. I was like, I work so hard and I am like, these girls are out of my league. But
Yeah. This is 2015 day 1 and 2.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, sorry. So then leading into the 2016 season, really my goal was just to do better than the year before. Like, I'm just going to focus. I learned the level of intensity that's needed. I've got another year of experience under my belt just in training. And so I don't think I did really any major off-season competitions, team at Wadapalooza.
Okay.
But I was feeling pretty fit going into that season. I did better than ever in the Open. I want to say I was like top 7 in the region.
Wow.
Which I was really proud of. And
Yeah, that's really good.
yeah, you know, it helps being a smaller athlete for the Open. But back then the Open mattered so much more, than it does now. Yeah.
Because you qualified for
Regionals
out of the Open.
Yeah.
And there was no, like, I was actually thinking about this last night, and it was like, everything you did in the sport was earned, right? And now you have, and like everything you did was earned. So like every stage of the competition for everyone was a hard thing to go and do.
Yeah.
And like now you have the Open that's top 25% go, well, there's a lot of people that can just walk into that
Right.
top 25%. And it changes things a lot. Like the dynamic of knowing that everybody out on the competition floor was earned their way to that competition floor was just, it was so different. I think that's one of the fun things about the sport too. But yeah, sorry, tangent on that.
No, that's all right. I completely agree. And I remember just the energy of the community too. I mean,
Yeah.
I think almost all of the affiliates that I knew about really had like one person that maybe had a shot, and so
Yeah.
everybody really rallied
Totally.
around us,
Yeah.
and it was so special. And
Or you had the team that everybody
Yes.
rallied around, which were usually coaches inside of your gym. Like,
Right.
Yeah. So it was a lot. It was way more community oriented back then. Yeah.
it was really fun. But so leading into the 2016 regionals, the workouts came out early, and so I tested a few of
What
them.
weekend were you guys? Do you remember?
Week 2,
Okay. So you had 3 weeks to test them then.
about 3 weeks.
Yeah. Okay.
So you had maybe a week or so having the workouts, but then you got to watch weekend
everybody.
1.
Yeah.
And I remember, texting again with Emily, and I had actually had some training times again that were faster than hers. And so I was like, maybe this could be a decent year. That was the first year of that snatch ladder, where it
Yeah.
starts at 135 and goes up to 175, which was so heavy.
Yeah.
Back then.
Oh man. Yeah. Crazy weight. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's still heavy for me today. But I remember I didn't do it in the allotted time, but I PR'd my snatch at 175, which
Heck
was
yeah.
like a 10-pound PR
Yeah.
at the time. And I think I actually ended up snatching 180 after that too. But
Wow. Yeah.
I remember being like, okay, there's a shot that I maybe make it through this thing or make it further than I think.
Yeah.
Had some training times that were competitive with Emily, and I actually wrote down all my training times, and I remember like waking up in the middle of the night to see how Cara Webb did in Australia
yeah,
for weekend
yeah,
1.
right.
And just looking at the leaderboard, granted, Australia, the talent pool was a little bit different, but seeing that some of my times were like pretty good.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this might be a pretty good year,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know, but and of course the layout of the floor and all that affects those times.
Right.
But I remember getting to regionals feeling pretty excited, and day 1 comes, we start with the snatch ladder, and I don't make it out of the first bar.
Damn.
Yeah. I kept getting no rep for stepping on the line of my mat,
Yes.
and they were no repping for
Which
that.
I think was new for that year.
I think it was just the way they set up that workout. I mean, it was really tight.
Really
it
tight.
felt like a 5 foot.
It was 6. It was 4. I think it was 4 feet,
Yeah. I mean,
but the lines were another like
Yeah.
3 inches right on that side. And then I think it was 5-foot sections for the handstand walks or lunges or whatever. So you had like a pretty tight box that you had to lift in.
yeah.
I remember we used to, I think they did it in 2015 too. And we
Okay.
would pull our bar. So we had a 4-foot section because you were facing the crowd
Right.
during that time.
Right.
And I think we pulled our bars all the way to the back in case we walked something forward.
Smart. I was too nervous to think about details like that.
Yeah. Dang. So you kept getting no rep for foot on the line.
Kept getting no rep. And so what was it? It was like a 2-minute window.
I think it was
2-minute window.
windows
Yeah.
For the first, yeah.
So I think I only got less than 6 snatches or something like that.
yeah.
But I probably took
Did,
12 attempts or
yeah,
something
right.
and made reps, but I was stepping on the line.
Yeah.
Still a bad habit. But I mean, I was like devastated after
Yeah.
that. I was like you said, if you have a bad workout, pretty much you think your weekend's over.
Yeah, right. There's still a little wiggle room, but like, yeah, you're climbing out of a hole for yeah. So how did you kind of like take on the rest of the weekend then?
Yeah. Luckily, I have always had really good people around me. And so they gave me good pep talks. They were like, okay, you got the bad one out of the way. It probably wasn't going to be the workout that you won anyway, which is true. And so the next workout was actually the strict muscle up workout. And I had struggled a little bit with those in training, and I ended up PRing by like 3 rounds or so on this workout and ended up with like a top 5 finish, which was completely unexpected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Were you in the last heat going in too, or?
I was in so there were 4 heats. I think I was in the second to last.
Okay, so you were in the
So-
third heat.
Yes, the third heat. Yep.
Oh, I guess, yeah, that makes sense, because probably the top 5 from each. Yeah.
Yep.
So nuts to finish 7 out of 20 and be in the be in the second to last heat. That's crazy.
I think it helped though, because, you know, thinking about the year before with all the big names, that just messed with me
Helped
so
to
much
kinda, like, calm the
mentally.
nerves a little
Yeah.
bit.
I'm like, okay, these girls, they feel more relatable, and, you know, they're
Yeah.
not like the superstars.
Yeah.
But so moving into day 2 was in the same heat, and I really liked day 2. So
Yeah.
that year, the first
Wall
workout,
balls and
wall balls and pull-ups,
Yeah, wall balls, pull-ups into
pistols and power cleans.
Yeah.
And
that was the first workout?
that was the first
Okay,
workout that
yeah.
day, and I like really liked that workout.
Yeah,
And it was the
great
wall ball
workout.
one where Emily was capped, and I had finished under the cap in training.
Okay, yeah.
So I felt pretty good about that one. Finished that one. Then it was a back-to-back type workout where you had a minute rest, and then you had to do pistols and power cleans. And I honestly remember like just doing the workout and being like a round ahead of everybody else.
Just
and
like in a flow state, yeah.
But I remember looking around like, did I go out too hot? Did I mess this up? Something's wrong. And I remember he wasn't really my coach, but one of my really good friends, Matt, was like just telling me to just go.
Just
He
keep
was
going,
like,
yeah.
you're good. And I didn't feel out of control. And so, won my heat by quite a bit,
Yeah.
on that one too. And then the last workout that day was deadlifts, running, and GHDs.
Yes. Well, 400 run, 25 GHDs, and like 10 deadlifts.
I think the
Or
deadlift
5?
maybe was 7 or some odd number,
But it was like
not quite 10.
285, right?
Yeah.
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 Okay. Yeah.
And
yeah.
some, like, we honestly had done a lot of heavy deadlifts in training that
Okay,
year. So
yeah.
I felt good, stayed unbroken. And so that was just a really good day for me. And actually, I finished day 2 in 6th place, and
Wow.
top 5 went to the games.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then you were heading into day 3 in 6th place.
Yep.
One spot out. What
Yeah.
what was the first workout on day 3?
So the first workout on day 3, I don't remember the full workout, but it had heavy overhead squats. It had 15 total.
Oh, yes.
Overhead squats
Okay.
at 155 for women. I assume 225 for men.
Yeah, that was like a really it was like run down, do a handstand walk back, do burpees over this like 4 foot by
Yeah.
8-inch box, run back down, do
Yeah.
overhead
There's
squats.
like a bike in there, like a 1 mile bike or something random.
Super random workout. Okay, yeah. So how did that one end up going then?
I mean, I probably did the best I could, but
Yeah.
it was not a great finish by any means.
That one would be a very tough one for you, because like
Mm-hmm.
you definitely had to be a little bit of. It helped being a taller athlete or a bigger athlete for those jumps over the box, because those started to eat people up, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously the mile bike, and then the overhead squat weight was pretty heavy too.
I mean, it was fully the overhead squat. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody else. I mean, I was nervous about the clean to even get the overhead squat
Yeah.
up and overhead, right? I mean,
Right.
that's how big of strength was a whole back then,
Yeah.
and even now. But everybody else was going unbroken. It was 10 in the middle of the chipper, and then 5 at the very end. And honestly, I got warmed up enough where at the end the 5 were fine.
Yeah.
But I mean, girls just ripped those overhead squats
Yeah.
in the middle, and so I knew I was probably done then. But the last workout was thrusters and legless rope climbs, and
Okay.
I think I took like a top 3 on that one. But
Okay.
unfortunately, because of the overhead squat, I fell to 7th.
Gotcha.
out of 5.
Yeah. Dang.
I know.
So, but I mean, that's still really solid. 7, 2 spots out of a games qualifying spot. Like, that's really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Was that, like, obviously you'd been trying to go for quite a few years now. Was that a little bit of like another morale boost, or was that kind of like a, wow, like I was so close, like this sucks?
Yeah, both, I would say. I think,
Yeah.
you know, going into the last day, I mean, people were texting me like crazy. Pat Sherwood had reached out to me for an interview and like all these
yeah.
things. And I'm like completely overwhelmed. It was completely unexpected, you know? So it was incredibly exciting just to even be in that last heat finally
Right.
for the last day, and
Yeah.
like with these other women and competing with them, not just, you know, being on the floor. But then I think after the reality of the weekend set in and they were calling the names of the women that made it to the games, like reality hit me hard of like, you almost did it, but you didn't do it.
Yeah.
So it was both feelings. It was mixed feelings, and but gave me some hope and some excitement for the next season.
Yeah. Amanda kind of described it as like when she got done, I think probably a little bit different for you, but like when she got done with semifinals in 2023, she's like, I didn't realize that I was going to have the opportunity to be disappointed at the end of this weekend.
Absolutely.
So it's really cool, but at the same time, it
Yeah.
like kind of sucks. You
Yeah.
know?
Perfectly said.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it's a tough pill, but at the same time, you're like, whoa, like this is awesome. And like, it does kind of give you a little bit of a confidence boost for that next year for sure. So
Yeah.
so after that, were you like, all right, it's game time, let's do this, like let's go hard? Or were you like, need a little bit of time, decompress a little bit, and then start to pick training back up?
Yeah, honestly, there were a lot of women that I had noticed. I mean, regionals were huge back then. So it was like the highlight of your weekend. It's what you watch. They had all the backstories and everything. There were a lot of women where it took them 3 years to qualify. And I was like, okay, 2015, not so good. 2016, really good. 2017 can only get better, right? It's taken other women 3 years. It'll take me 3 years.
Yeah.
So I was really hopeful for 2017. That's when I decided to hire an individual coach and do some individualized programming. And I was like, okay, that's going to be the game changer. I'm just going to like lock in and focus and see how it goes. So that went really well. That's when I met you.
Yeah.
And I did do team again at Wadapalooza.
Okay.
I have not been able to qualify elite at Wadapalooza since that very first year. It's just so competitive.
It's so competitive.
Yeah. But I actually remember, talking to you and having you work with me on a 150-pound sandbag clean.
It's 2017. What was that, like the swim year?
I think so.
And then you had to
with
go,
the clean.
Yes.
And that had never been in a workout before.
Yeah.
And this huge sandbag, I could not do it until you helped me.
Yeah, that's right. Was that was down in Identity, right? Or
No, I was at up where you were coaching at the time.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So were you able to do the sandbag there then?
I was able to do
Perfect.
it. You totally dialed in my technique because
Yeah.
I was just like about to just like give up.
Yeah.
So that was a really fun experience,
Yeah.
gave me a fun competition leading into the season. My coach at the time really directed me to not focus as much on the open. We knew we would probably make it to regionals. So I didn't have like my best performance ever in the open, but I wasn't too concerned with it just because that wasn't the ultimate goal.
For sure.
So went to regionals. First workout was I believe it was a 1,200 meter run and then 12 rounds of like, this isn't a vest.
Strict handstand?
Chest to bar, strict handstand push-ups.
I think it was 4, 8,
Yes.
12,
yes,
right?
exactly. Air squats.
Yeah, air squats. Yeah.
Yep.
Strict handstand push-ups, chest to bar, and then air squats.
Yeah. And I remember everybody was freaking out, just like they were the year before with the strict muscle-ups, of like a vest. No way at regionals.
Yeah.
I mean, people were freaking out. But that ended up being a great workout for me.
Yeah.
I think it was a top 3 finish.
Yeah.
It was the first one of the season. So I was like, that is one of my favorite memories is just, I was on an in lane and the announcers and everybody was focused on the top 2.
Okay.
And so like nobody saw me coming and I had, all of Identity cheering me on. They were right there behind me
Just
the whole workout,
screaming,
screaming their heads off.
Yes.
They had big heads made. They actually had those year before too, but that was like the best feeling is like, okay, this is it. This is the year.
Yeah. And just being next to your people, like while it was happening, was probably so motivating and like so rewarding.
For sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
that's awesome. So crushed that workout, finished in 3rd place on it. What happened after that?
So after that was the snatch. It was a heavier dumbbell snatch and ring dips. I also forgot to say this regional was the year of no barbell. So I was like,
regional. Yes,
like
that's
no
right.
barbell? Are you kidding?
Let's
like,
go.
let's go.
Yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah. Okay, so dumbbell. Was that one wasn't 21:59, was it?
I actually think it was, yeah.
So they had they did have two 21:59 workouts that year. Yeah, okay. That one go pretty well for you then? Or?
It went okay. Not as well as it had gone in training and not really, again, you could watch the weekend before. I think actually that year we were week 3 of all of the regionals, which honestly sucked because you just do the same workouts.
For so long.
So long.
Yes. So that was the year I competed team there.
Nice.
And we were week 3 because week 1 I went out to the West Regional, coached somebody there.
Oh, no.
came back, went up to Nashville week 2, coached a team there, and then came back week 3 and competed at.
Oh my goodness.
That was, to this day, I have no idea how I did that. That was so
Yeah.
nuts. That was so nuts.
Can you imagine doing that now?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
I was like, the only reason I was able to do that was because I was 26 years
Yeah.
old.
I know, right?
The only
Seriously.
reason.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So ring dip,
ring dips and
dumbbell
yep.
snatch.
Okay.
Actually, so somebody had texted me right before I did that workout, and they were like, the announcers are calling that you're going to win this workout. I was like, I kind of wish I didn't know that.
We got to keep you off your phone at these events.
So true. So true. And I when they texted, I knew I had done some of the workouts with another competitor that my coach was coaching, and I knew that this wasn't like my workout. Like the first one was definitely more geared toward my skill set. So I did a little bit slower, but I still ended the first day in a games qualifying spot for the very first time. So finished the day, I believe, in 5th.
Nice.
And I was like, I think I still have like the screenshot on my phone somewhere. You know, I was like, this is it. This is the year. Like we just got to get through 2 more days. Like we're doing this thing.
Yeah.
You know?
So just super hyped going into day 2.
Yeah.
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 And what was the first workout on day 2?
Day 2 was that long chipper. It was an overhead lunge, double unders, heavy wall ball. But the short rope climbs, 10 of those.
Yes.
Which I loved.
Yeah. Yeah. So that workout went pretty well for you again, or?
No. I remember waking up on day 2 and I was like, I don't feel as good as I should. You know, I don't know if I just didn't recover well day 1 or eat well, but just wasn't feeling well. That workout wasn't really great for me anyway with, you know, the heavy overhead lunge and even double unders, believe it or not, and the heavy wall ball.
Yeah.
I hoped that I would be able to make up some time on the rope climbs, but just didn't perform the way I wanted to for I would say all of day 2.
Oh, okay. So day 2 was just a tough day for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what was the second workout that day? Was that the ring? No.
It was toes to bar, handstand walk, and the kettlebell deadlifts, the really huge kettlebells. So super grippy handstand walk. So I was middle of the pack, I believe, on both of those workouts. So I had dropped quite a bit. I want to say I was maybe 7th or so going into day 3. I'm an accountant. I'm a numbers nerd. So I had crunched the numbers. I was like, it's not possible. I don't think. Just knowing that my performances on day 3 probably weren't going to be where they needed to be to make up that gap. So I probably shouldn't have done that either, but I couldn't help myself.
Lessons learned.
Yes. Yeah.
So day 3, you were kind of going in maybe a little bit defeated then, or?
Definitely. And honestly, just really sore. I think it was the ring dips. And so day 3 was 21-15-9 dumbbell overhead squat ring muscle up.
Okay.
And we hadn't really seen that volume of ring muscle ups in competition.
Definitely not at the regional level.
Right. Yeah. So I thought that was going to be a great one for me. It was in training, but just didn't. I think I actually got capped, which you know was hard. So
it's kind of just like the last workout was like, all right, we just got to get through this, basically.
Oh gosh, and I knew that one was not going to be good for me. It was an assault bike sprint, sandbag cleans, and the burpee box jump overs. And I remember before that workout saying, like, I don't even want to go out there.
Really?
Yeah.
So you were just really heartbroken. Yeah. Dang.
For sure. I still did it, but finished the weekend in 9th.
Okay. Yeah. And so after that, were you like, that was probably a very, like, tough hit. Like, you kind of being like, year 3's the year, like, a lot of expectations on the year. Did you keep going with the individual after that, or did you kind of take a step back, pull back a little bit?
I pulled back pretty hard. I was very defeated.
I mean, you had been grinding too. Like we're like you said before, like waking up at 5:30 in the morning to go 2 hours in the gym, another 2 hours at night. Like that was a lot of work for like a 4 or 5 year period at that point in time. So I could see how that would be pretty tough pill to swallow.
So I honestly just took the summer off I took classes and just did fun workouts. I wasn't really sure where I wanted to go. The idea of going back team definitely was like lingering in my mind. I was like, I've always been a team athlete. I was a cheerleader on a team. And maybe individual is just not really cut out for me.
Yeah, yeah.
And then while I was kind of debating that choice, they announced that teams would be cut to 4, which I thought sounded pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I actually did decide to go team again in 2018.
Okay. Yeah. And how'd that go? Did you have a ton of fun again, or?
I had so much fun.
Yeah.
I loved that team. I had the best experience.
Yeah.
Got to, spend some time with you for sure. And I was really excited going into regionals for 2018.
Yeah.
Last year of regionals
I know.
ever.
So crazy.
And we had a great year at regionals that year. We were in a games qualifying spot all weekend until the very last workout.
Dang.
So the workout it started with, I want to say it was like 144, some odd number. Handstand
144
push-ups.
handstand push-ups where your teammate held the handstand hold on the wall, and then you went into like
the walking lunge.
Yeah, and it was
with the
basically
worm.
like it was a lunge. So they set the worms up on the opposite side, and you basically lunged down the floor and then lunged back, and that was your finish.
Yes, such a dramatic finish.
Yeah.
But so I was supposed to do something like 50 kipping handstand push-ups at the beginning of that workout and go first.
Okay.
And so I'm like pumped. I'm like, this is it. I'm finally going to be a games athlete.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait. We were like battling it out with another Atlanta area gym. And I kick up and I hear no rep. I mean, I probably got something like 20 no reps.
Brutal. Yes.
On these handstand
that's
push-ups.
brutal.
And I didn't know if I should keep going or kick down. And I'm like looking with this face of, again, sheer panic at my teammates come down, and I can tell we're behind. We are very far behind. We end the workout in 6th place.
Oh, so did it bump you guys out of?
Yep.
Dang.
Yep.
Dang. So another really close
Yeah.
call.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brutal. Dang. I've also been there though, but
I know you have. I know you
sucks.
understand.
Yeah, it sucks. Yeah. So after that year, were you like, I just need a break, or like, what was kind of your thought process after that?
Again, I felt like after regionals every year, I pretty much took the summer off because there's so much focus around just this one competition, which was regionals.
Yeah, you
that it
peaked
was nice.
pretty hard for it. Yeah.
And then they made the announcement that regionals was going away.
Yeah, and they did that. It was sometime in the fall of 2018,
2018,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That ruined so many people's. That was really like the start of. I wouldn't say necessarily the downfall, but definitely the start of it being. It's just different now. It's so different now.
Yeah. Yes.
I feel so bad for people getting into it to not have experienced what it was, but it has definitely changed from that time period. I know, like, change is always a good thing, but man, I don't know in this case. Like, it was so much fun. Like, regionals was so much fun. And there's, like the community aspect of it was there, but that was kind of the start of like the new era of CrossFit.
For sure.
Where they've just gone through so many iterations at this point in time trying to figure themselves out. So,
Yeah.
But they started doing sanctionals, and I think you had competed at sanctionals in 2019, right?
Yeah. So 2019, I was getting married that year. I was like, okay, I've been trying to do this thing for a while.
Titan Games.
I did in between there. I didn't know we were going to squeeze that in yet. But so regionals, we found out it was going away. I actually was out in California filming Titan Games in the fall of 2018.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I've got this kind of cool opportunity going on
Yeah.
anyway. I'll sit back and see how the CrossFit season plays out. But, got that amazing opportunity to meet The Rock and met actually a few other CrossFit competitors while I was doing that show, which was super fun. I met Becca Voigt out and trained at her gym
nice.
while I was
Okay.
there.
Yeah.
And I actually had already met Becca because she did Squat Mafia when I was training on that program.
Okay.
But getting to train at her affiliate was super cool.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like an iconic affiliate.
Yeah.
Is it still around anymore? Or?
I think so.
She's
I
still
think
doing it?
Training
Okay.
Yard, right?
Yeah. We'll have to look that up
Yeah.
afterwards. I'm curious. Yeah. Because I know she's competing masters now. But you would see, I remember watching tons of her videos just to get some data points, like what is going on in the sport right now. So that was a really cool experience being on Titan Games.
It was.
Yeah.
So I was out in California for about a month.
Okay.
But I mean, just getting to meet other people, meet The Rock, and be on a TV show. They actually like found me on Instagram and sent me a DM.
They recruited you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I think watching regionals, and I've never been great at social media, so I don't think it was from my social media presence.
Well, normally you have to like go and apply to be on the show, and then they'll like interview you and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So that's really cool that they reached out to you. That's
Thank
awesome.
you. Thank you. But that was really fun, and had to keep that somewhat of a secret for a
sure.
while, and just sat back and watched and was trying to figure out what I was going to do with CrossFit at the same time.
Yeah. So what did you end up deciding to do then?
So sat back most of 2019. I do know one of the rules that year, I think, was that you could qualify for the games through the Open.
Yes. Yeah.
I think it was like top 20 in the world, which sounds insane, but there were 2 Opens that year, if you remember.
2019, and then, God, what was it? So yeah, one happened in 2019.
And then I think it was
happened
fall
in the
of 2019.
Yes,
Yeah.
That's
so
right.
not many people did the fall Open, or not as many people.
Yes.
And so after the first workout, I was in like 15th.
Wow. Okay.
Which it just happened to be a really good workout for me.
Yeah. It was still 5 workouts at that time, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And this would have qualified you for the 2020 games, though, yeah? Which would have given you, like, crazy amounts of time to train.
That's
so
true.
Nuts.
Yeah.
That's so
That's
nuts.
very true.
Okay, so you were in 15th place after the first one.
Again, not really training super hard. I think I was doing class programming or something at the time.
Okay. Was that the repeat? Toes to bar, double unders, and squat cleans? Was that one?
No. Oh, gosh, no. That's too heavy for me. But the first workout that year was the 10 rounds, burpees, and power snatches.
Oh,
It's like one of my favorite workouts.
Yeah. Okay. One of my least favorite workouts.
I love those 2 movements.
Yeah. Okay. So 15th place. Did you end up staying in the top 20 throughout the
No.
course,
Overall, I believe I finished somewhere in the 40 or so-ish range. But some good workouts in there. And I think that gave me some hope of like, okay, you're not training like crazy right now, but you still have a few workouts that you can maybe hit some home runs on. So that's when I decided to sign up for the Brazil sanctional. I did team at that. And then I also signed up for Mid-Atlantic, which was supposed to be in April of 2020.
Oh, okay. Okay. Gotcha.
Yep.
But you got injured before that, right?
I got injured at Brazil.
Okay.
So Brazil was March 2020.
Oh, okay.
One of I believe it was maybe our second workout of the weekend, was like a synchro snatch ladder, which in hindsight doesn't really sound like the smartest idea in the world. You're also facing each other.
Yeah, it was like, it was nuts.
It's like, it's a cluster.
Nuts. Yeah.
Like in hindsight, I'm like, I shouldn't have done that. But I dislocated my elbow on a snatch. I remember like the weights jumped there were some pretty big jumps. And I remember snatching and like, I didn't feel anything, but my partner across from me was like, your elbow. And I was like, what? And I look and I'm immediately like, oh my God, my arm's going to fall off. Just pure panic mode.
Yeah. What did it look like? Was your like
just like my elbow was like here and my arms like back here, I'm like,
oh man,
I'm losing my arms today.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think that was just like adrenaline panic, but ended up having to get in like an ambulance and go to the hospital in Brazil.
Dang. Yeah. What is that experience like?
It was honestly great. It was
Really?
the cleanest hospital I've ever seen. Not that I've been in hospitals a lot, but and it was also very cheap. I think it was something like $250 for them to pop my elbow back in place, give me tons of morphine.
Wow. Okay.
And I was really lucky that there was a doctor at the hospital who did CrossFit. He was like an orthopedic surgeon. And he happened to be around, and he also spoke English.
Wow.
Which was incredibly lucky.
Super fortunate.
I am so grateful for him. We still follow each other on Instagram. I'm like,
really?
Thank you, saved my life. Yeah. Maybe a little dramatic, but I was really grateful for him.
Yeah. That's awesome. Wow.
Yeah.
So overall, like, horrible competition experience. Amazing, super fortunate, like hospital experience.
Absolutely. Well, I say that, but the very next week is when COVID hit. I'm like, I wonder if there was like COVID at this hospital or.
Oh
you know?
Yeah. So you're like freaking out about that. Yeah. And that kind of shut down the 2020 season basically. Yeah. Dang. Well, so 2020 was kind of a wash. Like, what happened after that?
So. This is probably going to sound really selfish, but I was actually grateful that the time when I was injured is the whole world was shut down. So it was like everybody was slowing down. So I didn't feel as alone during that period, but I also wanted to make the best of it. So I just really worked on my strength and what I could do, which was a lot of squatting, a lot of aerobic type movements, and got my legs, honestly, probably the strongest they've ever been. I luckily didn't have to have surgery or anything, and started to really hit like some lifetime PRs about 3 or 4 months after that injury.
Yeah, that's awesome. So just kind of used it to dial back a little bit and work on some of the things that you need to work on for the sport. Yeah. That's sweet.
Yeah.
So did you compete in 2021 then? Or?
I did, yeah. So I had heard a rumor that regionals was coming back sometime that summer, which didn't quite happen, but semifinals came back. And so that really got me excited to train hard again. I was actually just doing like classes and just a different group programming that year. I really love working out with other people. And so I actually think that year, taking the class every day, working out with other people every day, and taking a step back from the individualized programming really just did a lot for me that year. And I feel like that might be one of the fittest years I've had. And so I did qualify for semifinals for 2021, competed at West Coast. It's funny, a lot of the workouts that year were from regionals. So that, sandbag.
The whole competition was built around like past work, like
regionals and games. So some workouts I hadn't done before, but that snatch ladder, that dang snatch ladder,
came back again.
I've done that workout like 20 times. Seriously. And then that sandbag workout, that was the last workout in 2017. Got to do that one again. I PR'd, but it still wasn't a great finish. But I PR'd by like a minute and a half.
Oh, that's pretty good.
not quite good enough, but but I didn't have games aspirations necessarily that year. I was not doing that training schedule that I was doing back in the day, when I was younger. But still finished 10th or 11th at West Coast, and just had so much fun that year too.
So it kind of rekindled some of the fire that you had, and like some of the enjoyment that you've had in the past. Okay.
For sure.
Sweet. So did you compete in 2022 then? Or?
Not kind of. So I think again was like, okay, I scratched that itch. I competed at semifinals. I think I was a little discouraged in knowing that just I had trained so hard and still finished, 10th or 11th, and I believe top 5 or 6 made it to the games from West Coast. And so I went team just out of my affiliate that year with some friends, and we didn't make it out of quarterfinals. So it's kind of like a year off, but also some fun in there too.
Yeah. I mean, that's almost 10 years of competing at that point in time.
Yes.
Like
with a full-time job.
And then 2023, well, I guess 2022 into 2023, you had the twins.
I had the twins.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah. And then I think, because you had them, and then you did the open, right?
I stupidly still did the open. So I'm a nerd, and so I love data. And I was like, I have this streak of doing the open.
Yeah.
And as I wasn't going to sign up, and I was feeling my fitness coming back.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, just do it. You're not going to do, the best you've ever done. It's not going to be amazing, but it will be cool just to have the data for all of the years. So that's honestly why I signed up. Okay. That and FOMO.
Yeah, right. It's real. And then I think you did quarterfinals, right?
I did qualify and do quarterfinals. And, was just not a great performance, but still a lot of fun.
Yeah. And then shortly after that, I think we started working together, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. And then now we're kind of, you did quarterfinals again in 2024. You're actually really close to qualifying for
semifinals.
Did you get an invite?
I didn't get an invite. I was 1 or 2 spots out.
Okay. Wait, did this year you got an invite though? Yeah.
I think I was 1 or 2 spots out.
Oh,
because
really?
of this year it was just open to semis.
Oh,
so I was
that's
1 or 2
right.
spots out, but we weren't really trying to be fair.
No. Yeah. I thought one of the years you did get an invite, but it was like week of you got the invite type thing?
No, but
No,
they
okay.
started asking for my information just in case.
Oh, maybe that's what it
Yeah,
was. Yeah,
that's what it was
okay,
this past
okay.
year. Yeah.
So still super competitive, and then now this year we're gonna try and make make a push for Masters games. So
Yeah.
stepping into the Masters division now.
Yeah, seriously. I actually like said it out loud for one of the first times. Somebody was like, "What are you still training for?" They didn't say still, but they were just asking out of curiosity. And I was like, gonna try to qualify for the games in 2026 as a masters athlete, which
Yeah.
one makes me feel very old and time has gone by so like slowly but quickly.
Yeah.
But then also saying that out loud made it very real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Are you excited?
I'm really excited. These girls are really, really fit.
Yeah.
I, used to joke way back in the day, like, all right, I'll finally make it in 2026, thinking it would be a little bit easier, but I don't think that's really the case.
Oh no. Like I think that's one thing about the Masters community is they're like, oh man, I can't wait till I age up into the next age bracket. Like it's gonna be so much easier. And
Yeah.
like, there's a smidgen of truth to that, but at the same time, your peers graduate with you up into that bracket, and your abilities levels graduate up with you into that bracket.
Exactly.
Like so many times I've heard Masters athletes be like, oh, I can't do ring muscle ups, or I can't do strict handstand push-ups, or I can't handstand walk, but man, next year when I get in that 50 to 55 division, or whatever it is, they're like, don't have to worry about those. And then it comes around and you're like, well, no, you do have to worry about those now. So,
Exactly.
the level of the game across the board just keeps rising. I think even as Masters athletes, like you still have to keep training hard and keep trying to push your limits, because like you'll gain fitness throughout the course of your career. Even I can't remember this guy's name. Do you remember Greg? I think it's Greg Amundsen or something.
No, I don't think so.
So he was like OG 2009, 2010, and he would do the CrossFit videos on the main site. So back in the day, for those of you that are newer to CrossFit.
You children,
yeah,
come have a seat.
The CrossFit website was like just a blog. So it was like you went to their website and it had the workout of the day. It had some links on the side. I can't remember what those were, but it had the workout of the day. And every single day they found somebody to do the workout, and then they would post the video of that workout. And that's how so many of us got into CrossFit and learned CrossFit was like, one, YouTubing like how to do a hang clean. What's the difference between a hang clean and a power clean?
Yeah.
Like, but he was one of the guys that was like the fire breather back in the day and did a lot of the demo workouts for the girl named workouts.
Nice.
I bumped into him back in 2019, I think. And he was like 40 at the time, I think. And in those videos, he was like, obviously like 27 or something like that. And he's like, yeah, I'm still PRing workouts to this day. Like I'm
amazing.
still getting fitter. So I think there's something to it. Like the longer you stay in the sport, there's still fitness to be gained in late into your 40s, I think. And so you just got to kind of keep training hard and keep pushing the limits. So
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited for it.
yeah, it's going to be a fun year. So,
Yeah.
Well, cool. Any last kind of words here for the people?
I don't think so. Respect your Masters athletes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on, Bre. Had a really good time with this one. So hopefully you guys liked it. How do people find when was the last post you made on social media?
I think about the fact that you said that to me a few weeks ago all the time. I'll be better, maybe.
Okay.
In the new year. Maybe that'll be my New Year's resolution. But
yeah.
I do have Instagram. It's at Bre Wallin.
Okay.
It's mostly a lot of stories of my twins.
Yeah.
But I'll try to do better in the new year.
Yeah. Well, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Please give Bre a follow throughout the course of this season. Just kind of follow her journey since you guys have gotten all her backstory now. But yeah, please, if I didn't say this already, please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys next time. Thanks, Bre.